Chris Stephendelis, the convert from Rugby Union, in the action, slips the ball back to blind side, back to their own quarter line with the ball, Western Suburbs. They'll play it with Gerard the tackler. Grant Fivey taking the place of Fella in there at dummy half. Simmons the tackler. Infield, it's Clark outside of Michael Neal. Call for the ball, and Neal quickly stepped out of the road to let the big front rower take that charge upfield. Again, gone wide to Craig Clark, the second rower. Two Clarks to the Western Suburbs side today. Last one for West, pegged down on their own quarter line. Back it goes to Cogger. Cogger's going to put his foot to it. Hits the deck on his own side of halfway where Gonzalez collects an easy bounce. Downfield, Gonzalez. He slipped the tackle of Stephendelis and he's hard the ball. Oh, he's hard upended by Fivey. In a beautiful tackle, Fivey flew at him from side on. Alexander at dummy half. Simmons standoff. Fenton in centre field to trudge it right out in centre. Matt Goodwin lets it go immediately to Fenton again. Fenton slips a tackle, and Western Suburbs in the opening minute so far have been missing a few of those early tackles. Played forward by Fenton. Fenton pressing his way diagonally towards the quarter line. Gets over the tackle of Fivey, but pulled aground. About 15 metres out, up and playing the ball in front of the field grandstand here at the park. On it goes to Zavanovic. Zavanovic in centre field, wrestled down by Craig Clark. Simmons has followed him in there, 15 metres out, more or less in centre field now as Gerard takes the ball up, breaks the tackle, can't get his arms free to let it go. He'll play it again, last one for Penrith, the bomb's on. Alexander's going, no, Alexander puts it in the air now, straight between the uprights. It's come down in the arms there of MacArthur. MacArthur is going to be put to ground, and the referee has seen something here that he wants to have a little bit to say about. I think there's going to be a Western Suburbs player spoken to, and Penrith given 2 gift penalty points from right under the crossbar. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's well deserved too, because Greg Alexander, following his own run through company with Matt Goodwin, was knocked out of the way in the end goal area.
Brett Lobb's going to take the kick. So Brett Lobb brought up to take this kick from just beside the upright after that foul on Alexander. He seems okay. He's stretching his fingers now as he walks back into position and rubbing his top forearm. So Lobb given the kick, maybe because of that bump that Alexander took, that this has happened. But Alexander normally now kicks with Levy, the regular kicker over the last few seasons for the Panthers, in reserve grade. Lobb has it on the mound. And Lobb, of course, using the new style of kicking round the corner, instep to the base of that leather. There it goes in the air. Flags are up and Penrith are away after 4 minutes of play here at Penrith Park to lead Western Suburbs by 2 points to 0.
Well, it's certainly been all Wests in attack. They've, whilst they haven't done anything spectacular, they've kept the ball alive, they've backed up well, and on the other hand, Penrith have wasted possession that they've had, running themselves into trouble, and for mine, I think West are a little bit in front at this stage.
Yes, mine too, Greg, with that penalty going against Neal in that feed of the scrum. Neal not too happy about that either. He dived on the ball as it came back out the same tunnel, but Stone penalising the Western Suburbs halfback. Alexander will kick for touch on the grandstand side of Penrith Park. So on the quarter line, touch judge's flag goes up, and Simmons trots over to pick up the ball from the touchline. 22 metres out, 12 minutes of play to the half-time break. Penrith 2, Western Suburbs 0. Simmons runs to Zavanovic, and Zavanovic immediately claimed by Leabeater. He'll play it now to Simmons inside the quarter line. Centre field to Alexander again to trudge it. Long wide passes. Izzard decides he'll run, but pulled down immediately by Crooks. And Crooks must have been standing out there. He wouldn't have had the energy to move from the ruck position, I don't think. Robinson, a charging run through the forwards, put to ground about 20 metres out. Now Simmons infield to trudge it. Trudge it takes a hand close to the rucks, comes down about 10 metres out. They're moving now. Alexander on it goes to Gerard. Gerard sees the gap and steps off his right foot, but steps straight into trouble. Last one for Penrith. Simmons asking Alexander to use it wide, gives it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez bumped and hit hard by Stephendelis, and that means this handover will be called right on the west try line. Neal takes that ball, plays it immediately to Stephendelis, who comes one way then the other, using his man as a shepherd, but Stone, not impressed by the shout from the crowd, allows play to go on. Fivey again in behind to Gale. Gale to the fringe of the ruck. Simmons there with Gerard to put him to ground. Fivey follows the play behind Gale across centre field to Neal. Now a big strong pass, wide pass to Clark, and Clark has room to move it out there to Duval. Duval wrestled the ground before he can get to the quarter line. Or Neal, or Cogger it was, back in field to Neal from centre field. He'll kick, charge down by Penrith. and picked up immediately by Zavanovic as the kick was charged to ground. So Zavanovic inside Western Suburbs quarter line with that charge down, and West's allowed to get up inside the 5 as Trudgett comes up with the ball, goes back in field, finds Gentle waiting on it. Gentles tries to scarp her away, but picked up by Crooks and put to ground. Simmons running under the post. Chance for Penrith. Oh, Simmons had no one supporting him. Lobb finally came up in position and picked up the pass, and Lobb has been put to ground by Brett Gale. He'll play it wide of the left upright, 12 metres out. Simmons again looking for runners on the blind side. Connor says, give it to me. Tries an underhand pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez an inside pass that he gives to Stefan Dellis instead of his supporting player. And so Western Suburbs in support right in the corner as they take the ball in field. 5 wrestled the ground by Gonzalez and Fenton. Will get up and play it to Neil. Neil now to Leabeater. Leabeater charging up on that ball is down about 10 metres out from his try line. 10 minutes of play remaining to the half-time break. 5 again. Clark on the other side. Or hit by Connor. Lets the ball go, but it's claimed and picked up by Wigham. And there are still Western Suburb players looking for it as MacArthur comes onto the pass and has pulled the ground. He plays it outside West quarter line. 5 long inside pass to Crooks. Crooks escapes Goodwin's tackle, slips a second, steps into the clear and has support too, and Leabeater coming up behind him, and a good long pass along the ground. It's loose and Penrith should be able to claim this one. Lobb throws it back in field, and Zavanovic's unable to claim it the first time but does the second. Pretty scrappy football there as Zavanovic plays it right against touch to Simmons inside their own territory, right across field to Trudgett, to Robinson, slips that tackle. Crooks it was who came to him, and he can't get away from the second tackler. He will play it to Simmons, short of the halfway line. Blindside or wide blind to Alexander. The kick over the top, it's in no man's land, and Alexander's got it at his mercy. Oh, Alexander slips right in front of MacArthur. He only had to step around him, and it was wide open spaces to the try line. Simmons, long pass to Robinson. They should be able to use this. Oh, Robinson elects to go the wrong way. Puts the ball back among the Western Suburbs defenders where Goodwin is carrying 2 players 10 metres short of the try line. Simmons scurries. They're waiting now. West Penrith have got to capitalise on this. Last one for Penrith, and they just can't do that with Western Suburbs almost at standing still position at this stage. And Alexander attempts to find a 1-pointer, does so with a field goal, and Penrith now slip to a lead of 3 points to nil. 8 minutes to go to half time. Prediction on Leicester sides getting up today by the sound of that. Well, West back in possession after that field goal. Ball lost by Penrith. Very doubtful head-high tackle. But Stone has allowed it to go on, and West's have it with Neil coming away from the ruck inside Penrith's quarter line. 3 points to nil, Penrith lead. And they have squandered opportunity after opportunity, Penrith, with West's a very tired bunch, particularly Englishman Crooks. However, they're hanging in West as Leabeater fires a long pass across to Clark, the second rower. He takes off, the gaps are there, and Wigham's going to score. Wigham picks up the pass, and Wigham through the gap crashes over to score the first try in the game for Western Suburbs. Pretty lethargic effort by the Panthers. Ball being put on the mound now by Stefan Dellis. The kick here will put West in front by 6 points to 3. 4 points to 3 they lead now.
Well, that try came from an error by Penrith inside their own quarter. Ben Gonzalez lost the ball when he was tackled heavily, and from the ensuing play, the balls Western Suburbs went able for a try through Wayne Wigham. That try has now been converted by Stefan Dellis to take West on to a lead of 6 points to 3. And as the rain starts to come down here,
Alexander feeds the scrum, and a penalty to Western Suburbs right under the goalposts. No kick at goal available here because of the differential scrum penalty rule, but West will take the tap, I should imagine. Yes, they're going to take it immediately from the spot. Fifey getting out wide to Brett Gale, going for the try line. Gale pull down. And so from the penalty goal, it's Leabeater taking it right up under the Penrith goalposts, about 10 metres out. He'll get up and play it to Fivey. Clark steadied himself to a big bumping run, but oh yes, he looked as though he was going to pass it, but caught by a leg, gives it back to Wigham. They can't make a mistake. Western Suburbs, and Stafford picks up the ball and is cut down by a good tackle from Zavanovic. Cross to Neil, heading out towards the 3-quarter mark where Gale has taken the ball, had support from Duval but couldn't move it. Western Suburbs raiding the Penrith line relentlessly here. Clark hits the ball from Neil, full bore, and held up by a great tackle there from Fenton, given across under the post, and it's the bomb again, and now Penrith's got to face the barrage of them. Every player in the book is up there, and West have scored. West have scored. It had to happen. And Gentles will take it into to the 10-metre mark. 15 minutes of play remaining. Given then to Blair. Blair up to the quarter line before being put to ground. 22 metres out, right in centre field. Blair playing it to Simmons, and Gerard waiting on it, and he straightens up the attack and charges through too. He's only 8 metres out, but so many times Penrith have broken the line and haven't been able to get the pass away. Connor says, I'll do it. Oh, Connor must have scored. And Connor presses over beside the post to give Penrith now their first try of the game. They trail Western Suburbs now by only 5 points. 12 points to 7, the Magpies lead. Who was it scored?
Great Connor.
Connor. There's the conversion by Alexander. It's successful, so 12 points to 9 now at Penrith Park. So ball put on the touchline and taken in by Fivey. And time off as the other ball goes on the ground. Now Fivey takes the tap. Time on again. Gives the ball on there to Duval. Duval running up is put to ground on the quarter line. He'll get up and play the ball. Back it comes to Fivey, blindside to Clark. Clark running over the top of them is held up. Oh, he just won't go to ground, Clark. He charges an extra 3 or 4 metres with Penrith players hanging all over him like leeches, but eventually up and plays it about 5 metres out. Back in field to Neil, looking for Clark beside him. Clark changes direction and is wrapped up just 10 metres out from the Penrith try line. Time ticking down to the final siren. 12-9 Western Suburbs lead, and they look as though they've got this one in the bag, surprisingly. Gale put to ground straight out from the try line. He'll get up and play the ball here to Fivey. Goes across to Neil, and Neil uses Harrington. Scarpers onto that ball. Little bloke with a ton of speed, but put down by Simmons. Very slow to his feet. Fivey says, get up and give it to me. Neil reverses it back now to Crooks, and in the air from Crooks. The Bombers in behind the try line, and there could be another Western Suburbs try on here. And it looks like it is. West have sealed the game. They've picked up the try in the dying moments with a second try in the air, and that puts an end to it all at Penrith Park, only seconds away from final whistle. West 16 lead, Penrith 9, kick yet to come. Okay, and the kick to come from right in front by Crooks, is it, or Worth? By Peter Worth, the replacement flankman. Took over from Stefan Dellis, will kick from right in front of the left uprights, and it was Worth who put that splendid on the wire kick over for the Magpies in reserve grade to grab a 12-all draw. So Worth now, ball traditionally set right in front of the left upright. 16-9 West lead, 18-9 now with the conversion in a bright display of attacking football, loose at times in defence, but where Penrith couldn't capitalise on that, and nor could they handle the sparkling attack put together by a very, very no-names Western Suburbs side. Great effort from them.